Listen carefully. This message is not an accident. You did not click on this video by coincidence. Something inside you has been restless. Something has been pulling on your spirit. You have been asking questions nobody can answer. You have cried in silence, smiled in public, broken down in private, and now God is saying, stop here, do not scroll away, because I have a surprise for you. Hear this clearly. The pain you survived was not meaningless. The betrayal was not random. The delay was not punishment. The loneliness was not abandonment. You were being prepared. While everyone else was chasing noise, God was building strength inside of you. While others misunderstood you, He was separating you. While they laughed at your silence, Heaven was training your spirit. And now the season is changing. You can feel it. The nights have been heavier lately. The dreams have been different. The spiritual attacks have increased. The pressure became intense because breakthrough is near. The enemy attacks hardest when heaven is about to release something powerful. God is saying, you have cried long enough. You have waited long enough. You have endured long enough. Now watch what I do next. There are people who walked away from you because they could not understand your assignment. There are people who betrayed you because your light exposed their darkness. There are people who rejected you because your spirit disturbed their demons. Do not take it personally. Chosen ones are never fully understood by crowds. Hear this clearly. You were never called to fit in. You were called to awaken. And yes, that calling comes with isolation. It comes with tears, with confusion, with spiritual warfare, with moments where you feel abandoned by everybody around you. But God is saying, I was there in every lonely night. I saw every hidden tear. I heard every silent prayer. Even when heaven felt quiet, God was still working. Even when the doors closed, God was still protecting you. Even when people disappeared, God was removing distractions. Listen carefully. Some of you thought you lost people because you failed. No, you lost them because they could not go where God is taking you. The next season of your life requires a different spirit, a different mindset, a different level of discernment. God is removing fake love, fake loyalty, fake support, because where you are going, everything must be pure. And this is why the battle became so intense. The enemy saw your future before you did. That is why the attacks started early. That is why people turned against you without reason. That is why you felt spiritually exhausted. Hell was trying to stop what heaven already approved. But hear this clearly. What God has spoken over your life cannot be destroyed, delayed, maybe attacked, yes, but destroyed, never, because the hand of God is still on you. You are still chosen. You are still marked by heaven. And God says the surprise coming into your life will make sense of every painful season you survived, the closed doors, the rejection, the abandonment, the heartbreak, the confusion. It was all preparing you for this moment. A transformation is happening inside you. You are not the same person you used to be. The things that once broke you no longer control you. The people who once manipulated you no longer have access to your spirit. The fear that once silenced you is losing power. God is rebuilding you from the inside out, slowly, quietly, powerfully, and soon, everyone who doubted your journey will witness your elevation, not because you are better than others, but because you stayed faithful during the silence. You kept praying when nothing changed. You kept believing when everything looked impossible. You kept walking even while carrying wounds nobody knew about, and heaven saw all of it. God is saying, I am about to reward your endurance. But before elevation comes separation. Hear this carefully. Some people had to leave. Some relationships had to break. Some doors had to close because your destiny cannot survive around constant deception. The pain of separation was protection. You cried over people God removed. You begged for doors God blocked. You mourned things heaven was trying to save you from, but now you understand. Now your spirit sees clearly. Now your discernment is stronger. And this is only the beginning, because God says, what is coming into your life will not be ordinary. A divine shift is happening. Unexpected opportunities, unexpected healing, unexpected restoration, unexpected favor. The surprise of God often arrives after the greatest storm. That is why you cannot quit now. You are too close to breakthrough, too close to transformation, too close to answered prayers. The enemy wants you tired because your next season carries power. Listen carefully. There is a reason you never fully connected with the world. There is a reason crowds drained your spirit. There is a reason shallow conversations exhausted you. There is a reason your soul always searched for something deeper. You carry a spiritual calling, and chosen people always feel different. You tried to act normal, tried to fit in, tried to silence your spirit. But the hand of God on your life would not let you become like everybody else, because you were born for more. Hear this clearly. Your suffering created strength. Every betrayal sharpened your discernment. Every heartbreak deepened your faith. Every lonely season strengthened your spirit. The very thing that tried to destroy you became the thing God used to build you. That is the mystery of divine preparation. And now, God is saying, stop doubting yourself. You survived battles that should have broken you. You carried pain that nobody saw. You fought spiritual warfare in silence, and you are still standing. That alone is proof that God is with you. Listen carefully. One of the hardest parts of being chosen is feeling alone in rooms full of people. You smile, but nobody understands your battles. You speak, but nobody hears your spirit. You love deeply, but people only give you surface-level connection. And slowly, you begin to feel separated from the world around you. Hear this clearly. That separation was not accidental. God was pulling you away from noise because He needed your attention. Sometimes isolation is heaven's training ground, while others were distracted by temporary things. God was shaping your soul, and yes, it hurt. You wondered why friendships faded, why family members misunderstood you, why people suddenly changed toward you. But God is saying, they were connected to your old season, not your future. Chosen ones outgrow environments. That is why your spirit became uncomfortable around certain people. You started noticing hidden jealousy, hidden manipulation, hidden negativity. Things you ignored before suddenly became obvious. Why? Because your discernment awakened. Listen carefully. Not everybody clapping for you is happy for you. Some people studied your weaknesses while pretending to support you. Some people smiled in your face while secretly praying for your downfall. And your spirit felt it. That uncomfortable feeling, that exhaustion after certain conversations, that heaviness around certain people, those were signs. God was warning you. Hear this clearly. The chosen must learn discernment, because not every connection is sent by heaven. Some people enter your life as distractions. Some come to delay your destiny. Some come to drain your spirit. And this is why God began removing people, painfully, unexpectedly, silently. At first you cried over it. You questioned yourself. You asked, what did I do wrong? But now you understand. God was protecting your calling. The higher your destiny, the stronger the warfare around your relationships. Listen carefully. Joseph was betrayed before he was elevated. David was isolated before he became king. Jesus himself was misunderstood by many around him. Chosen people often walk lonely roads, not because God forgot them, but because separation creates spiritual strength. Hear this clearly. You were hidden because your spirit needed preparation. Some blessings require isolation before arrival. A seed must go underground before it grows, and for a long time you were underground, forgotten. Overlooked, people counted you out. Some assumed your silence meant weakness. But they did not understand what heaven was doing in secret. God develops chosen people privately before revealing them publicly. That lonely season built endurance inside you. It taught you how to depend on God instead of human validation. And that lesson changed everything, because now you are no longer begging to be accepted. You are no longer chasing approval. You are no longer shrinking your spirit to make others comfortable. You finally understand. You were not created to be common. Listen carefully. The enemy attacked your identity because he feared your future. He wanted you insecure, confused, distracted, emotionally broken. Because a chosen person who discovers their purpose becomes dangerous to darkness. That is why your life carried unusual battles. Battles others could not understand. Spiritual exhaustion, mental warfare, emotional heaviness. Sometimes you felt pressure without explanation. Sometimes you felt attacked even while doing nothing wrong. That was spiritual warfare. And yet, God kept sustaining you. Hear this clearly. If the enemy could have destroyed you, he would have done it already. The fact you survived proves divine protection covered your life. Think about everything you endured. The heartbreak that almost shattered you. The betrayal you never deserved. The nights you cried yourself to sleep. The moments you nearly gave up. And somehow you survived, not because you are lucky, because God refused to let you fall. Listen carefully. The chosen carry scars, but those scars become proof of survival. Every wound taught you wisdom. Every disappointment built resilience. Every painful goodbye strengthened your discernment. You became spiritually sharper through suffering. And now people notice something different about you. Your energy changed. Your spirit changed. Your presence changed. You carry depth now. You speak with authority born from pain. You walk differently because suffering transformed you. Hear this clearly. God wastes nothing, not your tears, not your trauma, not your waiting season. Everything is being used for your purpose. Even the betrayal, especially the betrayal. Because betrayal forced you closer to God, it exposed fake loyalty. It taught you who truly cared. It broke your dependence on people. And painful as it was, it awakened your spirit. Listen carefully. Some of you have been asking God, why has life been so difficult? And God is saying, because your calling is heavy. Oil is produced under pressure. Diamonds are formed under pressure. And chosen ones are built through pressure. The warfare around your life was confirmation. Darkness attacks what carries light. Hear this clearly. You are entering a season where things finally begin making sense. The confusion is lifting, the spiritual fog is breaking. And God is revealing why you had to walk through certain battles alone, because He was teaching you to hear His voice above the crowd. The chosen must learn silence, must learn patience, must learn trust, even when prayers seem unanswered. Listen carefully. God's silence does not mean absence. Sometimes heaven is quiet because preparation is happening behind the scenes. Right now, things are moving you cannot see. Doors are shifting. People are being repositioned. Opportunities are aligning. And suddenly, what felt delayed will happen quickly. That is how divine timing works. Years of struggle. Then one moment changes everything. One foal, one opportunity, one breakthrough, one divine connection. and your entire life shifts. God is saying, stay faithful a little longer, because the surprise coming into your life is greater than the pain you endured. Hear this clearly. The enemy wanted you to quit right before your breakthrough. That is why the pressure increased recently. That is why your emotions felt heavier, why your spirit felt tired, why old fears suddenly returned. Hell attacks hardest before heaven moves powerfully. Listen carefully. You are closer than you realize. God did not bring you this far to abandon you now. Every delayed prayer, every painful lesson, every silent season was building you for what is coming next. And what is coming next will shock the people who underestimated you. God is saying, they saw your struggle, but they did not see my hand over your life. Hear this clearly. The chosen often look forgotten before elevation. People judge you by your current condition, while heaven sees your future assignment. That is why they misunderstood you. They only saw the battle. They could not see the anointing being formed inside your pain. Listen carefully. You have been in a season of hidden preparation, a season where God was rebuilding your heart. Because some of you entered this battle broken, you trusted the wrong people, loved the wrong people, gave your energy to people who drained your spirit. And when they betrayed you, it shattered something inside you. You became quieter, more guarded, more distant. But hear this clearly. God allowed certain heartbreaks to wake you up spiritually. Some people had to leave because they were blocking your growth. Some relationships were keeping you emotionally trapped. And God loves you too much to let your destiny die in unhealthy environments. Listen carefully. You are not losing people. You are losing distractions. You are losing manipulation, losing fake loyalty, losing connections that cannot survive where God is taking you. And yes, it hurts because your heart is genuine. Chosen people love deeply. That is why betrayal cuts so deeply. But God is saying, do not let betrayal make you bitter. Let it make you wiser. Hear this clearly. Your softness is not weakness. Your compassion is not weakness. Your emotional depth is not weakness. It is proof your spirit still carries light after everything you survived, and that light threatens darkness. That is why some people attacked you for no reason, because your spirit exposed things they tried to hide. Chosen people carry conviction without speaking. Your presence alone unsettled certain people, and instead of healing themselves, they projected their darkness onto you. Listen carefully. Stop blaming yourself for being different. You were never meant to think like everybody else. Your spirit carries purpose. That is why normal life never satisfied you deep inside. You always felt called to something greater, even when you could not explain it, even when nobody understood it. God was planting eternity inside your soul. Hear this clearly. The waiting season is almost over. A shift is happening. You may not fully see it yet, but your spirit feels it. The heaviness is breaking, the confusion is breaking, the cycle is breaking, and God is preparing to release something unexpected into your life. A miracle, a restoration, a divine opportunity, a supernatural connection, something you prayed for in tears, something heaven heard long ago. Listen carefully. God remembers every prayer, even the prayers you whispered while crying, even the prayers you stopped repeating because disappointment exhausted you. He heard all of it, and heaven has not forgotten you. God is saying, I was working while you were waiting. Hear this clearly. Some blessings take time because your spirit must be ready to carry them. Imagine receiving elevation before healing. Imagine receiving influence while emotionally broken. Imagine entering your destiny without discernment. It would destroy you. So God slowed things down to protect you. The delay was mercy. Listen carefully. You thought God was ignoring you, but He was strengthening you, teaching patience, teaching wisdom, teaching spiritual maturity. Because the next season of your life requires a stronger version of you. And now, after all the tears, after all the heartbreak, after all the silent battles, you are becoming that person. Hear this clearly. Transformation always comes before elevation. God changes the inside before revealing the outside. That is why your priorities changed, why your tolerance for negativity decreased, why shallow relationships no longer satisfy your soul. You are evolving spiritually. The old version of you cannot enter the next season, and some people will not recognize who you are becoming. That is okay. Growth often feels lonely. Listen carefully. Do not return to environments God rescued you from. Do not reopen doors heaven closed. Some chapters ended for a reason. God is saying, trust me even when you do not understand the process. Because what He has prepared for you is bigger than what you lost. Hear this clearly. The enemy spent years trying to break your confidence, trying to convince you that you were forgotten, unworthy, too damaged, too late. But none of those lies came from God. God says you are still chosen, not because you are perfect, but because His grace covered you. Even in your weakest moments, God still saw purpose inside you. Listen carefully. You are entering a season of revelation. Things hidden in darkness will be exposed. People's true intentions will become clear. Your discernment will sharpen even more. And suddenly, you will understand why certain prayers were delayed. Because God was protecting you from counterfeit blessings. Hear this clearly. Not every opportunity is from God. Not every relationship is from God. Not every open door is from God. The chosen must learn discernment before elevation. And now your spirit is learning to recognize truth. You can feel when something is off. You can sense hidden motives. You can detect spiritual heaviness. That awareness is not paranoia. It is spiritual maturity. Listen carefully. Protect your peace in this next season. Not everybody deserves access to your energy. Some people only come close to study your light. Guard your spirit. Pray more. Listen more. Discern more, because the closer you get to breakthrough, the more distractions appear. But hear this clearly. Nothing sent against you will stop what God has ordained. The breakthrough is already moving toward you. Your story is not ending in defeat. The pain was not your final chapter. The tears were not wasted. God is about to surprise you in ways you never imagined. One day soon, you will look back at this painful season and realize God was carrying you the entire time, even in silence, even in confusion, even in heartbreak. He never left you. And now, the season of survival is ending. The season of transformation has arrived. Listen carefully. If you are hearing this message right now, it is because heaven wanted your attention. God is saying, you survived for a reason. Not everybody made it through what you endured, but you did. You are still here, still breathing, still believing, still fighting. And that means your purpose is not finished. Hear this clearly. The breakthrough is closer than you think. Do not quit now. Do not lose faith now. Do not allow temporary pain to make permanent decisions. God has a surprise prepared for you, a moment that will heal years of heartbreak, a blessing that will restore your strength, a victory that will silence every doubt. And when it happens, you will understand why the battle was so intense, because your destiny is powerful. Listen carefully. The chosen are never destroyed by the fire. They are transformed by it. So keep praying, keep trusting, keep believing, even during silence, especially during silence. Because heaven is still moving, God is still working, and your story is still unfolding. If this message spoke directly to your spirit, comment, chosen. Declare it bold.